How's it going there, guys? Dave Nader here, and today I have another book review. Today I'm reviewing the 8th book in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, actually co-written by John Tiffany and Jack Thorne, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And it's actually, as you probably know by now, it's a play, not a novel like the past 7 Harry Potter books. And that kind of threw me for a loop. I didn't know about that until right before I bought it. I was like, really? Oh. But, it's Harry Potter, so I'm still going to buy it. And let's go ahead and jump right into the plot description here. This is definitely a very differently structured story from what you get in the past Harry Potter books. The past Harry Potter books, you get Harry Potter and Ron, Hermione, and their adventures in Hogwarts. And the last book changed it up because they don't go to Hogwarts. They're just an adventure going around the entire world, really trying to find the Horcruxes. But this, much more so, and we'll get to that more in a second. Also, there will be spoilers in this review for past Harry Potter books because it's hard not to spoil stuff just because of the nature of the story. This book begins with the epilogue of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry and Ginny, now married and in their late 30s, taking their sons, James and Albus, to the train station to go to Hogwarts. And Albus is in his first year, and he's a bit nervous. He doesn't want to go into Slytherin. He wants to go into Gryffindor, but he's kind of worried about that. His dad, Harry, tells him, don't sweat it, kid. It's no big deal. I'll still love you anyway, obviously, if you go into Slytherin. So he goes there, and on the train, he meets Scorpius Malfoy, and unlike Harry and Draco, they become best friends pretty quickly, and what do you know, Albus, along with Scorpius, get sorted into Slytherin. And that's where it gets very different. It skips past several years, and it jumps to Albus and Scorpius' 4th year in Hogwarts, and long story short, without delving too much into it, they want to go back in time to stop the killing of Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And some bad things happen, and some alternate realities are shown because of tampering with time, and it just goes on from there. Again, this is a very differently structured story from the past books. It's not just like locked down in Hogwarts. Like, they go around all over the place and all through time, and all kinds of stuff gets messed up because of that. And also just the characters are very different from the other characters we got before. That's a very good thing, and overall this is a very good, borderline great book. Maybe great, I don't know, we'll see. But it's, the characters, again, they're very different from past Harry Potter characters. Albus, he's not like his dad. He's not popular. Of course, he was sorted into Slytherin, not Gryffindor. He's considered a big disappointment, like, wow, man, what a waste, Harry Potter's son, he's just this lame. His friend Scorpius is nothing like Draco. He's such a nice person. He kind of reminded me, he's like a cross between Ron and Hermione. Her smarts with his brand of humor. He's really snarky and funny. At the same time, Albus is also pretty funny as well. Like, funnier than Harry generally was, I thought, And I'm really glad that they didn't just copy and paste past characters. I didn't expect them to do that. This is Harry Potter we're talking about. Okay, this is some quality writing that you get in this series, but even so, it was nice to see that the characters weren't just copy and paste from past books. And I loved seeing Albus and Scorpius' relationship with each other. And there's some seriously touching moments between them in this book. The dialogue is great, and that really matters because, of course, this is a play, and so it's going to be mainly dedicated to dialogue. And so there's a lot of dialogue in this book. And it's a pretty short book, so it's the dialogue has to be pretty good, and it really is. It's great dialogue. It's whenever there's exposition, it doesn't feel too forced or anything. You really get interested in the story. And I loved seeing the different alternate realities that were created because of the time travel. It kind of reminded me of that Stephen King book I reviewed a while ago, 11/22/63. And, it's definitely different from that, but still, there's some cool stuff to see there. All the returning characters, Harry, Ron, Hermione, they're just great. I loved seeing where they are in their life now. Harry, he's an Auror. Ron, he's inherited his brother's joke shop. And Hermione is the friggin' Minister of Magic. That was pretty cool to see. And their banter is as good as ever. Ginny, you get to see a good bit more of Harry and Ginny's relationship, and that was very sweet and heartwarming to see. I love that, and I love when they're talking about, how they're trying to connect with their son, and especially Harry, because Albus is not getting along too well with his dad, partly because his dad is so popular and pretty much always was in school, and yet Albus is just not liked very much. He's considered way too much of a dork. People don't like him. And he kind of resents his dad a little bit, and also just in general, his relationship with his dad is just not too great. They don't always connect with each other too well. They don't always see eye to eye, and that was very well done. It didn't just come off, at least not to me, like a bit too, or it didn't come off like that typical, like, oh yeah, the angsty teenager hates his parents that you've seen 59 million quadrillion billion thousand zillion times in so many different young adult stories. But it was really done well here. Again, the dialogue is great. There's also a cool character named Delphi. She's a bit interesting, and she actually joins Albus and Scorpius on their journey through time. And she becomes more and more interesting as the book goes on. And all of the returning characters and all the new characters were really well handled. They meshed with each other well. The story, while very differently structured from past different Harry Potter books, was very cool to see. It was a fun twist on, with the new timelines, it was a fun twist on what's happened in past stories. It's funny to see. The book is filled with good humor. It's very well paced. It's a much shorter book, so it's much tighter paced than really even Sorcerer's Stone ever was. It's exciting, even though it's technically not all that much action, which figures because it's a play. It's not like you can have big, huge battles and explosions like Deathly Hallows, like on a play. If you have a bunch of pyrotechnics, you're gonna blow up your audience. But of course, I've never seen the play. I don't know how they do it. But when there is action, it's well written here. It's exciting to see, and it's much better action than you would get with in terms of just a pure script, than you would get in most scripts, I think. So it was really well described. But there were definitely, not just a couple, I'm not gonna lie, there were several things in this that felt just a bit too rushed, and maybe in an actual play performed by actual actors it might come off a bit better, but just reading the script, there were certain things, a lot of things really, to where it's just kind of like, oh really, this is happening now this is happening, and this, it just felt a little bit rushed. However, it's so entertaining, it's filled with characters that you love and great dialogue. And, the signature writing of J.K. Rowling blends so well with John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. And of course, just the novelty of the fact that, there's another Harry Potter book. You didn't expect that to happen, but bam, 9 years after Deathly Hallows, there's a new book. So maybe just the fact that I'm excited to see that, but just all of it came together to make, a flawed but very good Harry Potter book, and I'm going to give it an A-. If I'm being honest, it's probably comparatively the worst book in the series, but that's not saying anything. It's the worst book in the series, but it's an A-. It's great. Totally check it out. Of course, there are a fair amount of people that were kind of disappointed with it. I haven't really checked out all that many reviews of it, or really any reviews of it, because I didn't want it to impact my opinion before I reviewed it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please rate and comment and subscribe, and if you want to, you can also share. Goodbye, guys.